Hi everyone, welcome to ITPK. We will see the steps on how to create, apply disk encryption to Windows 10 and 11 devices without a TPM requirement. A common security capability for all of the devices is to encrypt disk and data. Windows utilizes BitLocker to encrypt its data, and BitLocker is available on the devices that runs Windows 10 and 11. BitLocker is a built-in Windows data protection capable of encrypting entire hard drive, including disks, system, and data drives. Some settings of the BitLocker has required the hardware to support TPM, Trusted Platform Module, known as TPM module. There are two ways to create and enable BitLocker for Windows 10 and 11. We can use one of the available type in Microsoft Intune to configure it for managed devices. Device configuration profile for endpoint protection for BitLocker. We can configure BitLocker policy to automatically applied that will silently enable BitLocker on the devices. If you don't have enabled a TPM, we can still move with the BitLocker encryption processes. Please sign in to Microsoft Intune using the URL intune.microsoft.com, and you must use the global administrator or Intune service administrator to log in into Intune to set up a BitLocker encryption. So here, let's go to devices, and in the devices section, scroll down and let's go to configuration profile. In the configuration profile, let's go ahead and create new policy. In the platform, we want to select Windows 10 and later, and here we want to select profile type templates. In the templates, please search for endpoint protection. Let's select this and create. Type a meaningful name. So I have typed the meaningful name so that I can understand it perfectly, and the description that set up BitLocker encryption for non-TPM or non-compatible TPM Windows devices. Okay, let's go to next. Here we just want to change the setting on Windows encryption. In the Windows encryption, we want encrypt devices to set it to required, right? If you want to learn more about any of these settings, you can come to this exclamation sign and you can see all of the settings. Now here in the Windows setting, we only need to enable only few of the settings. That is, once we already enable encrypt devices, that is required. And here let's find out additional authentication at startup. So let's say to set it to require, right? Because if the BitLocker is not enabled, this will at least require an additional setting security on the startup, like the password or the PIN. So we don't need to enable any of other settings here. If you want, you could change the settings according to your requirement. So I am not changing any of these settings here, as I am all done with enabling BitLocker on the devices that doesn't have a TPM chip or that doesn't support a TPM module. Let's click next. Here we could assign it groups, add all user or add all devices. Let me quickly create the group that I will name the group BitLocker without a TPM. Okay, I have named the group, and here we could add the member, right? The devices which doesn't have supported TPM chip or module enabled, and I have created this group. Let's go back, and here let's add the group we just have created. So here we have BitLocker encryption without a TPM, right? Let's click next. I don't want to assign any applicability rule. Let's again click next, and here you can review all of your settings and you can click to create. But make sure only these two settings should be like this for enabling BitLocker for the devices that doesn't support TPM or that doesn't have a TPM chip. You can set up your other options according to your requirement. So let's go ahead and click create to create this policy. Let's refresh the page, and this policy will take some time to propagate your require devices that doesn't have a TPM chip, and this will get applied to those devices. Once the policy is enabled, you can go to view report to see the settings deployed on the devices. You will see all the results here in the admin center. Depending on the policy you have configured into Microsoft Intune and the option you have set up into your Microsoft Intune, users will be asked to say yes or no if they are using any other type of this description here. If you can see my screen, I have set the screenshot for you, and user could select I don't have any other disk encryption software installed, encrypt all my disks. This depends upon your setup from Microsoft Intune configuration profile that will set to allow or required. And also on the startup, when the computer will start up, user will have this option here to insert a USB flash drive, which have a recovery key or enter the password, because the device doesn't have a TPM chip and we still have to enable or set up some of the securities here. So once user will complete this process, this will start encrypting users' drives. That's it about today's simple and to the point tutorial. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching and keep watching for more. Take care. Bye.